Hey guys, it's Max with GTN Official here, and today I will be giving a quick update on the new model of the KP Pros. So the KP Pros are Knockies' newest set of AirPods. They're actually AirPods Pros, and they've been okay. Honestly, they weren't as good as the KP ones, but there is a new updated model of them, and hopefully they can take on the KP ones and even be better. Let's see by starting by unboxing it. Okay, so first off, we're gonna get rid of the wrapping. Alright, so here we go. We have the box. On each side of the box, we have... Oh, it's opening pretty easily. We have the picture on the back and no barcode. On the other box, they had barcode where this is. There is the normal made in China stuff and electronics warnings, and that's really about it. So let's get into these. So opening them up. Very loosely packaged compared to the last ones. We have an instruction manual. In the vein of Apple, this is like the Apple type little package thingy. In Chinese though. Is it in English on the other side? It is. Oh, and it kind of looks like... Yeah, in fact, it really does look like Apple instruction manual. So take a look at that in a minute. Next we have the KP Pros. A charging cable, which is... Oh, we're about to see what kind of charging cable it is. Lightning on that side and USB-A on this side. So just a standard USB-A to Lightning. And is that it? Oh, looks like there's something under here. Oh! Nice! Extra tips. There's 4 of them in here. Am I correct on that? Yes, there's 4 extra tips inside of this. If you can focus on those. And they even have a neat little picture on the front. I'm going to start us off with just a real quick glance at the instruction manual because it actually looks really nice. And this is for iOS. I'll be using an iPad to demonstrate this. It's in multiple languages. Alright, time to take a look at the AirPods themselves. Very loosely packed, as seems to be the theme with stuff in this specific package. Let's set that over there. They're actually heavier than the previous ones. A fair bit, honestly. It's not even like... You can definitely tell. The same other KP Pros, the original model, were a fair bit lighter. So I actually like the heft. I think that's a good sign. The clasp is lighter. It's kind of like when you just tap it a little bit. Pops open. It really wants to stay open. So a different kind of clasp than the other ones. Taking a look into the AirPods themselves, we'll just take one out. It looks very similar to the AirPods Pros. Just a little notch on the side. Obviously no Apple logo. No hole in the bottom. Yeah, alright. Fair enough. I guess the next thing to do is to connect them and get started. Alright, so here I have my iPad with Bluetooth turned on, as you can see. Let's open them up and see what happens. Not your AirPods Pro. Okay, that's a good start. Connect, hold button. So, hold that down. I think I can let go now. Wow, that worked much, much faster and more effortlessly than last time. Sweet. So they have 80% battery and 42% case battery, so that's enough to start them out. Let's get into it. Alright, so to begin, we're going to test out touch controls. I'll pick it up by here so I don't accidentally trigger it. I believe it's squeeze to pause and play, so squeeze it real quick. Oh, it's not in my ear. Hold on. I need to simulate being in an ear. There. Okay, it's playing. Maybe. Yep, squeeze to pause, as you can see. Squeeze to play. Good. And double tap, I'm guessing, to skip. Let's see. Yes, it did skip, as you can see right there. And I don't know if triple tap does anything. Let's try it. No, it restarts the song. Okay. And hold, I'm guessing, is Siri. It doesn't seem like hold did anything. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think hold did anything at all. Alright, I guess next to get into is sound quality. So I have taken off the tips here, as you can see, and this is what they look like to test out the sound quality. I feel like it would be more accurate with no tips on. It would be definitely easier to tell. Let that focus, and there we go. So let's play. Full volume, yep. Okay, so from what I've deduced from a few minutes of listening, that is not the only listening I've done with these. I think that they're better than the previous KP Pros, which had a lot of sound bleeding and just a lot of issues altogether. But they're not as good as the KP ones still, sound quality-wise. The bass is just not up there. Everything about these is very good, but the bass specifically is not as good, as well as the volume. The volume is also subpar comparatively. It's not quiet by any means, but it's also not loud like the KP Pros could get if you wanted them to be. Overall, not quite as good as the KP Pros, but better than a fair amount of previous models. Okay, so I've mentioned a fair amount of things so far, both good and bad, some mixed, but I have yet to mention the biggest feature. These are the first ever fake AirPods that I've seen that not only get recognized like this, where when you open the case, the screen comes up, if it decides to come up right now. Probably won't, because I don't have them in the case. There we go. But there have been many before that have been recognized like this. Recognized to the point where it can tell that they have the same chip as the AirPods. But all of them have the issue where if you actually go into settings and try and tinker with them, as if they were AirPods, they won't work. These are the first ones that I've ever seen that genuinely are recognized as AirPods. I've never seen the i500s don't do this. The real ones, I know the ones I reviewed previously were not necessarily the ones that a lot of people wanted to see. The i500s don't do this, the KP ones don't do this, the Air 2s don't do this. Nothing else does this. So here's what I want to show you. First of all, if I try with any other fake pair of AirPods, such as the KP ones, which is my example, to do live listen, it will say no device detected. However, because these are genuinely detected as AirPods Pros, you can turn on live listen if you want. And boom, there we go, live listen right now. I can currently hear everything coming from my iPad through the volume, if I can play it for you guys. Well, okay, it's really hard to hear, but through the volume of my AirPods, so I can stalk whoever I want, whenever I want, which is of course great. Other things, if I go into settings, Bluetooth, Max's AirPods Pros, and hit the eye. Look at this, it genuinely detects them as AirPods Pros. If I look at the other AirPods Pros, I have a lot of pairs, don't judge me. It just sees them as Bluetooth devices. Even though the screen comes up, or when you open the case, the screen comes up, it still just sees them as Bluetooth devices. But for these, they're genuinely detected as AirPods Pros. I can rename them. I can do an ear tip fit test. I don't even know how that works. I can change the noise control, even though, to be honest, I don't think these have noise cancellation. I think that's the one feature these are lacking, like, compared to the real ones. But whatever, I could tinker with the noise control and noise cancellation if I wanted to. And on top of that, you know, I can do this stuff. And I have automatic ear detection, microphone, but more. There's more, guys. If I go to find my iPhone. Alright guys, sorry for the abrupt cut there. I don't want to show you guys my location, but what I do want to show you is that these have a tracking device in them. So, just like the real AirPods Pros, if you lose them, you can track the case. The case is 100% trackable. Of course, I'm very zoomed in and covering the top because I don't want you guys finding where I live, but you can play a sound on them, and you can also see where they are located. So guys, overall, these are better in every single conceivable way than the original model of the KP Pros. To this point, the KP ones have been my favorite AirPods by so far, to the point where I wore the KP Pros for one day and then gave up on taking them to school because I just found that they weren't adequate. They sounded like crap, they disconnected frequently, and genuinely I rated them too high. I was very generous with them. They simply were not as good. However, Knockies has redeemed themselves in every way. In the fact that they no longer sell the original model of the KP Pros. They lowered the price of these to, I believe, $85 or $90, and these are genuinely so amazing, especially for the fact that they're recognized as real AirPods Pros. So, I would recommend these in every way. I will not be scoring these because I don't see the need to score it. I feel like by scoring these and giving my recommendations like that, it's harder to assess whether you should buy them or not for you. It might be easier to just explain it. For example, I overrated the previous model of the KP Pros, and I feel bad about it, genuinely. So, I would give these the thumbs up Max from GTN Official seal of approval. If you would like to support the channel, the link to purchase these is in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching this quick update on the new KP Pro model. This is GTN Official, signing off.